Hey everybody, it's Joseph Shepard and welcome to Exposed After Dark, bringing you a little bit of Exposed, a little bit of After Dark vibes. I am chatting with such an amazing queen. Her name is Choriza May. If you do not know her already, you should.
Exposed After Dark with Joseph Shepard. Tonight's special guest, Choriza May. Pussy is like a peach.
It's Choriza May.
Hello, Choriza May. How are you doing, baby?
Oh, I'm so good.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I'm
Can you
honored.
give your entrance line from UK, please?
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Hate me because I'm an immigrant. When I said
That
it,
was-
entering Drag Race is so uncomfortable and so awkward because all you can hear is your heels clacking, like click, clack, click, clack, and everyone's meant to be silent. And no one is allowed to react straight away. When I finished saying that, I was like, oh. But Veronica Green was like, you need to do merch of that. That's going to go viral. I was like, nah. And I didn't listen to Veronica Green, and then it went viral, and I didn't have any merch to sell. So overnight, we created something. So advice, always listen to Veronica Green, whatever she has to say.
Does the Pope shit in the woods?
So this show's called Exposed After Dark.
Aha.
What's your favorite thing to do after dark?
You know what? Not just after dark, sucking dick is great. So turn that light off. Thank you very much. I've been eating a lot of Mexican food here in LA. The food is hysterical. It's so fucking good. The Mexican food in UK, it's absolutely disgraceful.
Really?
It's so disgusting. So all these food trucks that there are in downtown, I've been eating Mexican every day. I don't understand how people bottom in LA. I just don't understand it because my asshole looks like that monster from Stranger Things. It's like, you know, it's so angry. I've been eating Mexican every day. I love it.
So your seasons of Drag Race, you were on 2 great ones, both with Mama Ru.
Oh, Mama Ru, yes, she loves me. Famously.
She does love you. I want to know something for you. You were on UK season 3, and then you were a fan favorite.
That was fun.
Everybody loved the fuck out of you.
Mm-hmm.
You get on UK versus the World.
And everybody loved the heck out of Marie.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that was one of the things that I was very, very scared of going, because my experience, although I lost the first time and the second time, I still felt like a winner because I got such a good fan reaction. I was very scared of not having that at some point. Still, the fans really appreciate my personality on the show the second time around as well. So I was like, phew. But I don't think the reaction was as crazy as it was on my first season.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you why. And I've been talking to the people who really know me when they saw me on the show. There was an expectation that I had on myself. And I almost felt on the second season around, I was a parody of Choriza May.
Oh.
I was acting Choriza May, and I forgot. I was thinking more what people were perceiving, which is something that I didn't do the first time around.
You got into your head too much.
I got into my head a lot, and I didn't allow myself to be myself, which is the number one mistake I didn't do on my original season. And sometimes watching it, I was like, I see how that makes sense for the Choriza May character. It does not make sense for who I am. And the fans maybe didn't notice it, but for me, it was hard to watch sometimes, if I'm honest.
Really?
Yeah, it was. Especially episode number 5, the 7, the Rusical. Because, and this is something that is quite common between like performers. We have to put on a facade. And that episode, I was very like broken inside. My confidence was through the floor. Like I didn't think I was doing as great as I was going to do. So I was very sad, but still I was putting this facade like, I'm Choriza May, I'm happy, I'm having fun. And no one clocked it. But my boyfriend was the one that called me and was like, what was going on through your head? That's not you. And I bursted crying in that moment when he called me and was like, I am so glad someone saw that. Because everyone on Twitter was like, oh, Choriza May is so funny. Choriza May is hysterical. Oh, look at her. Such a great positive attitude, although she didn't do great. Inside I was broken. And I don't think that was honest of me, because I think it's important that we go on the show and we show that vulnerable side. But I lied to myself, and I thought that's not what people expect from me. And that was the biggest lie I could tell myself. I forgot how to be myself. I was, again, as I say it, I felt I was a parody of Choriza May on that episode specifically.
How do you think that you would fair now. If Ru were to call you and be like, I want you on US All Stars, what do you think? Do you think that you would be more yourself? Do you feel like that?
I'll tell you something. I think if I go back, I'm actually going to be competitive.
Okay.
I don't think neither. I've been twice. None of the times I've been there. And this is, I think some queens will relate. I think it's very easy to see who's going to get it very soon in the competition. So you are just there like, okay, the crown is not for me. I'm going to have a good time and make good TV. And maybe I clocked out and I did that very early, both times I was there. First time around or on episode 2, I fully realized that Crystal was going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, let's have fun. And it worked out well.
Yeah.
But didn't give me the crown. And then the second time around, I was like, either Marina, Tia, or La Grande Dame are going to get this. Let's have fun. And I think that's a big mistake that I made. I think if I went a third time, I would really go for it and really, 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 really be there to compete and win. Because magic can happen. And I think I need to be a bit more competitive than I am. Yeah.
I want to see Choriza being fucking feisty.
And that's why as well, like, I didn't take anything. You have not seen me fight on Drag Race, although I wanted, but everyone was so kind to me. I really couldn't fight with anyone, but I think that competitivity was in there, and it's a competition. So
yeah.
What the fuck am I doing?
You had a moment.
Many.
A lot of moments. But one of my favorite moments of you was your release of your single.
Oh, yes.
My pussy is like a peach. My pussy is like a peach.
My pussy is like a peach. My pussy is like a peach. Outside is fluffy, inside you see my pussy is like a peach.
How did you think of that?
It's wild, but before I learned how to speak English, I did this course in this English week.
I thought you said curse.
Curse,
I was
a
like,
curse.
oh, you're
This
like
English
doing a witch
I'm
curse.
like, learn English, bitch. No. Like this English curse. Like I went to learn English in Cuenca, which makes no sense. It's a little city in Spain, and they had us. We had to do like a song in Spanish and English for the final day, just for a little bit of fun after we had been learning English. And that's the first time that we sang that song. And then I always thought, when I started doing drag, I was like, oh, this is a great filler thingy. Like when I was a local queen in Newcastle, it's like, oh, I can sing this and people love it and people learn it and everyone in Newcastle knew it. And actually I sang it as my exit line on the show, but the BBC cut it because it was so rude, because I had a peach on my head. And that's the reason the song came before the look. Me being an advertising and marketing queen thought, let me do a peach look so I can release the song on the day. I didn't know of my elimination. So I sang that song to RuPaul and RuPaul loved it, but they didn't dare it. So yeah, I've done it pretty much in every gig since I finished Drag Race Season 3. And when I have not done it, we got complaints.
I bet.
Yeah, so I have to do it everywhere I go. Because my pussy, in fact, is like a peach. Stream it on iTunes, Spotify, and everywhere.
Love that kind of stuff.
Speaking of another queen from UK versus the world, you are besties with Miss Arantxa Castilla La Mancha.
Arantxa Castilla La Mancha, my sister.
I love the hell out of her.
It's incredible. She is so fun.
She's fucking loony and I love it. She is like the crazy fun.
And I think that's where we connect. We don't take ourselves too seriously. And we know what drag is for us. And we put a lot of value in each other as a person outside of drag as well. And I think some people and some queens get very disconnected from the real world. Arantxa is very real. I am very real. And that's what keeps us together so much. Yeah. And that's before even this was like a big friendship. She was one of the very few queens that every time I would go to Spain would take the time to visit me or take the time to spend with me.
So like before Drag Race?
Yeah, before Drag Race. Yes, before Drag Race. Because it was very much like, everyone is there for their own gig, but Arantxa always had all the time for me. And then I think when our friendship really became a thing was this one time I flew to Madrid to walk in Fashion Week and they lost my suitcase. So I was left with no makeup and I had 4 hours until I was meant to be on walking for an incredible brand, David Moss. And she was like, I just released a makeup collection. I live close to the airport. Please come here. I'll give you everything you need. And I drove past. I went to her house for the first time. She gave me all the makeup brushes that I needed. And then with that, Killer Queen, I drove to Killer Queen. She works in a hospital. She gave me the keys to her house. I went to her house. She was like, pick any wig you want. So it's like people like that are in my life. Like Arantxa and Killer Queen are the top two queens in my life. And yeah, since then, we've been like so close. So when we got the call, I was in Chicago doing a viewing party. And I always tell, we are not meant to tell this, but we called each other immediately. It was like, have you got a call? I was like, I got a call. We started crying on the phone. So we knew from the get-go that we were going to be on a season together, and it was very exciting.
How's she doing now?
She's recovering.
Mm-hmm.
Arantxa, big kiss, un besazo, cariño, te echo de menos. She had to make the hard decision to not come to LA. She was meant to be here. She was meant to be meeting all the fans. And she's been pushing herself very hard, because once you do Drag Race, the expectation is not only hard, but it's only difficult for us because we get so many opportunities. It's hard to say no to things.
Yeah.
And especially after Pride Month, when everything is happening, she pushed herself a little bit too hard and she crossed the line and she had to take a step back, and it was very necessary. But I'm very happy she did it. I'm very happy she did it because she's a hard worker, and it's difficult for her to say no to such a big opportunity like LA. It was such a big dream for her to come here and meet all the fans that I was actually very concerned. It's like, you're having some health problems. We are coming over America. Let's be real. Healthcare in America is very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
If something happens there,
You're going to be...
this is going to be bad. And I'm so happy. It's sometimes a bit frustrating for me because we are very close friends, but still I live in a different country. But she has such a great support system around her. Onyx from Drag Race España, her brother Alvaro, like everyone, it's fantastic. And she listens to her friends, and she made the decision to take a step back and not come to LA this year, but hopefully next year. And I must tell, and I've already told her, I've sent her like a 9-minute voice note. Lots of fans missed her, and they gave me presents for her. I was like, please give a big hug to Arantxa. So she knows she's loved, and she sees it, and I'm so happy for her, and I can't wait to see her and give her a big hug as well.
Choriza, we're going to take a break. When we get back, you're going to spin this bottle, and we are going to figure out what you land on, and then this is going to be a segment for you. Did you used to play Spin the Bottle ever? Have you ever played it?
I've spun bottles, and the night always has ended very sexy. So who knows? You might get some red lipstick all over you later.
Oh. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. And we are back. I'm with Choriza May. Her pussy is like a peach.
Indeed.
And she's about to spin this bottle.
I've been waiting for this. Should I do it?
I think you should do it.
I'm going to be very delicate, okay?
Okay.
I don't have my glasses on, so you're going to have to...
I'll
read
let you know what it says.
says.
Back in the closet.
Back in the closet.
So I'm going to
Okay.
ask you 3 questions.
Gorgeous.
You can send one of them back in the closet, meaning you don't have to answer it.
Oh, mama.
But you have to answer the other 2.
That's perfect.
But you do not know all 3 up front.
Oh, you are shady.
Oh!
Okay, let's do this.
Do you agree with the winner of UK versus the World Season 2?
That's such an easy one. Of course I do. Yes, totally. I think Tia, I think coming back, it's such a hard thing to do. And Tia has proved that she's put on the work since her season.
Mm-hmm.
She got so much shit on Season 2 for maybe not being what a queen should be expected to be with up to looks when you go to Drag Race.
I am serving you an adequate dress made of materials that is on my body.
And she came back with incredible looks. She showcased her incredible humor. And yes, there were many strong contenders. Let's be honest. Hanaconda, La Grande Dame, Marina. They were all, especially Marina was a really, really strong contender. But she could have won and it would have been fair. And Tia won. And she had won 4 challenges through the whole season as well. And I think it was fair as it could be. And I love her. And I think she should, and she got a lot of hate for it, which is quite annoying. But the glow up that she's had, no one else had. So I'm so happy for her. And I'm being fully honest.
That's good.
Yeah.
What did you steal from the Drag Race set?
I stole a wig. I stole a corset that was made for La Grande Dame. Like they give you a corset for the sewing challenge. I don't know where I stole it. That's never going to fit me. I stole all the sewing kits that they gave us. Oh yeah, I stole a strawberry from River's outfit when we were eliminated. And I used it as a pin. I stole a brown wig. It was very ugly, so I'm never going to use it. They give us like wigs for the dancing challenge in Universus. I stole it. I don't know why. I stole a hair curler. I don't use human hair. It's in my house. I stole a hair dryer. I do use it every day. I have it on my suitcase, actually. Actually, the voltage is very different in America, so it doesn't work here. It's shit. I didn't steal a sewing machine, although I wanted, because I didn't know where they were. I stole both my seasons, the lipstick you used to write in the mirror. I stole them both. I stole, this is great. I stole, they have like a picture of you on your confessionals, and they hang them in the dressing room so you know how you look. I stole that on both my seasons, especially my first one. It was just a real experience. And I would go and fold it and look at me in the headshots, and I was like, oh, I was on Drag Race.
So you left with more suitcases than you came in.
Oh, I did. Oh, and you know what? I brought on someone. I can't remember whose advice it was, but it's like pack extra bags, like these ones that you can fold very small and then they can be like like the ones that Divina de Campo used on season 1 to do like a suit in the same challenge. Like pack. That's a great advice, because also you are packing in your house and you have all the time of the world. When you're on Drag Race, you have hours. Mm-hmm. So I packed like 2 extra. I came back with 2 extra bags. Fantastic. Yes, you never know.
I would steal a lot of stuff too.
Yeah,
I'd probably steal a light bulb out of like the mirror. Like,
right.
I
know.
What was the worst incident that happened behind the scenes of Drag Race that didn't make it to camera?
This is the one I can send to the closet, but I won't. It was 3 questions, but I'm gonna answer. It was fantastic, and I'm so happy. I know I'm very sad that this wasn't aired, because should I say this?
Say it!
Okay. I'm gonna get in trouble. It's fine, whatever. Tia, you know I love you. Scarlett, you know I love you. I hope I'm not being insensitive by telling this. But while Tia was talking about the passing of her mother, which was a very sad and a very touching moment, she was talking to Hanaconda and UK versus the World. I'm not laughing at that, by the way. Scarlett's NB chair broke, and she fell flat into the floor, and she kicked off because no one went to help her. What she didn't realize was that all the cameras were pointing at Tia. So Scarlett almost like kind of made everything stop because she didn't understand what was happening. Bless her, she had just fallen to the floor flat. And Gothi and I were doing our makeup, and we thought she had dropped something. Little did we know she was on the floor with a fully destroyed chair, and then poor Tia was in tears and was like, what is happening? So that was great, but that didn't tear. And then I'm going to tell you another one. This is extra, mama. This is exposed. This was not dramatic. This was actually quite funny. It was episode 3 on UK season 3. We were waiting for RuPaul's lights to be adjusted in the workroom because she needs to look good.
Yes.
Fair enough, queen. And Raven does a great job at that. She's like looking and said like, no, that light that it's up there needs to be changed. So they took forever to change them. We're like, we need a poo. We need to go to the toilet. And it was Ella, myself, and Scarlett Hartlett. And normally we don't see RuPaul backstage, but because she was waiting and they made the exception to let us leave the workroom because it was taking forever, we saw her backstage. And her reaction to see us walking past her was to do us this. She went. And we were like, okay, work. So we did it back at her, and it was hysterical. Yeah, it was very nice.
We're going to take a break. When we get back, Choriza May is going to talk about her pictures from the past.
Oh, God.
We are back. I'm Joseph Shepard. I'm here with Choriza May. Are you ready to talk about some of your past?
No,
I'm
not. But I don't have a choice.
You don't?
Because we are live here in location in LA. So let's go.
I'm going to show you some pictures from your past, and I want you to tell me what was going through your head, what the moment was. Let's go with this moment first.
What an iconic picture. Can we take a second?
Yeah, let's take a moment.
This picture used to break my heart, and now River has it printed in her studio, hanging in a frame, and I have it printed in my studio, hanging in a frame. We love this. It was very devastating. Do you want me exactly what was going through
through your head?
was my career is over.
Really?
This is the end of Choriza May. I'm not going to be able to bounce back from this. This was embarrassing. This was bad. I'm going to have to quit drag. Let's try and make the money back. And so I can pay all the designers. And hopefully, thankfully, I have a career as an illustrator and a graphic designer, and I kept going. So the double elimination really broke me, because we had seen the double eliminations previously. It really didn't end well for some of the queens. And it was very embarrassing. And it doesn't matter how confident you go into Drag Race when you are there. RuPaul's opinion is the only thing that matters, even if you are a very confident queen. And it really saddened me. I was not expecting to leave that episode. I thought I did a good job on Snatch Game, and I thought this is still think, to be honest, this is one of my favorite looks, and I look so gorgeous in that picture. So I was not ready for the lip sync, and I really fucked it. So in that moment, I was really broken. Little did I know that look and everything around it would become so iconic. And then not only My Pussy Like a Peach, but then River and I released another single called Feeling Fruity. That was the name of that category. So we really made lemons out of lemonade, or peach juice out of a peach headpiece that I took off, and then I wore a very ugly wig off.
It feels so shit.
Yes.
Drag Idol Newcastle. That right there. And I'm so happy that's documented. That's my first performance ever.
Stop it.
That's my first time on stage. In Switch Bar in Newcastle in the Pink Triangle, I entered Drag Idol. And that look inspired the whole brand of Choriza. My entrance look was inspired by that. Those 2 roses that I'm wearing there are the same 2 roses that I wore when I walked in with a bull head.
Yes.
And then I wore that's a nail flying. And then I wore a red jacket with a black lapel inspired by that jacket. I bought that in a charity shop. Those earrings were from a charity shop. That wig was expensive because I had a good job. But yeah, that was the first number. And then I entered Drag Idol thinking, I'm going to try drag. I love the drag scene. I moved to Newcastle very young, and I was struggling to find my people there, if I'm honest. I was in the gym, I was at work, but I had people I knew, but no one who I really connected with. And one night I went out and I saw the queens, and I was like, that's my people. I have to do whatever it takes. And then I entered and I won Drag Idol Newcastle, which put me straight away on the spotlight in Newcastle and gave me great opportunities. And I will forever be grateful to everyone who gave me this opportunity, and that crown I will forever represent for Newcastle.
One of my favorite moments of yours. Excuse me, guest judge on España.
That was a surf. I ate. I left no crumbs.
No, you did not.
How many more food-related expressions can I use for this? It was a moment. They called me to do this before my season even aired. I know. I was like, do they know I didn't win? It was wild. It was very exciting. Do you want to know some tea?
Yes.
Some of the producers actually some of the writers for the show actually contacted me to apply for Drag Race España season 1. And I had to very politely decline because I had already been shortlisted for Drag Race UK. And they were like, well, please let us know if you actually get on the final cast. They were waiting for me to say yes or no. But I always had like a backup that was going to be Drag Race España season 1. And in fact, they started filming a day after we did. So I always wondered, what would it be to be part of the Drag Race España family? And I loved being on Drag Race UK, but I almost regretted it because I love Supreme Deluxe, the host of Drag Race España, so much. And I knew all the queens from season 1. I love them so much. I almost was like, I always wonder, what would it be to be in Drag Race España? And they called me to be a guest judge. And what a way to be part of the family.
That's so cool.
What a way to be part of the
And there
franchise.
are not a lot of girls who've been guest judges on any season.
At the time,
Yes.
only Envy Peru.
Yes.
At the time, only Envy Peru. And I think on the same season, Alexis Mateo was a guest judge as well. So at the time, it was like just the 3 of us. Now a little bit more, but it was a massive deal. It was a very big deal. And I think I did a great job. It was, oh my God, it was the ball. It was episode 6. Another thing, I was eliminated on episode 6 of my season. So when they asked me to be a judge, I was like, I can't judge anything past episode 6. And they put me on episode 6. Like the girls, if they made it to episode 7, who am I to judge them? You know what I mean? So it was fantastic. And then that's a dress that means a lot to me. The fabric is
It's gorgeous.
SLS Poly, which is a traditional Valencian fabric that is used for the Fallera costumes. And yeah, it was a moment. I think that was my little All-Stars glow up moment before the UK versus the world. I got that before I got my second call. Baby, that's the crowning of Drag Idol. What a difference between that other picture.
And this picture.
This is 6 weeks later. It was 6 weeks of competition every Sunday.
Wow.
And it took to this moment with Chanel Marie and Pebble Dash. That's the crowning night at Boulevard, an iconic venue in Newcastle. I had all the support of my family. My cousin flew from Spain to dance with me. All the drag friends that I made through the way were there to support me, and I got crowned the Drag Idol winner of 2019, which is also the year that I started doing drag. People think I've been doing drag forever. I've been doing drag for 5 years.
And then how long had you been doing it before you got on Drag Race?
2 years and
Damn.
less than that. I had a very clear vision of who I wanted Choriza to be, and I think. I mean, it's crazy to think that when we got into Drag Race, Crystal Versace had been doing drag for longer time than I had, although she was 19. But she had been doing drag since so young. She had been doing drag for a lot longer than I had. I started doing drag when I was 28. So this life, everything, something that I'm very grateful for. I had a whole life before drag. I had a degree, I have a master, I had been working in graphic design and illustration for 6 years. I had met my partner. We had already been dating for, 6 years or 8 years already. Like, I had a whole life before then. And this drag is such a gift. And it's changed my life in such a crazy way. That same year, I went to DragCon LA. That was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I came to DragCon LA with Wigs and Grace to help them set the booth because I was a designer. I designed their packaging, and they were kind enough to bring me here. And I did drag here in LA for the first time. I looked rough. I wore this Spanish flag dress. It was fantastic. And now, 5 years later, I'm here chatting to you about my journey.
Oh, cool.
With my own booth, meeting queens. This was crazy. I met queens on DragCon that I stopped them around, like local queens who still haven't been on Drag Race, like Loma Prieta, which is an incredible American queen, or I don't know, many. I met them and they came to my booth and was like, I don't know if you know this, but 5 years ago I stopped you and I got a picture with you, and it was so heartwarming. It was really nice. Yeah, it's been gorgeous. I'm very grateful. That's one of the things of me. I'm not, and I think it's something that people get. I'm so grateful about everything. And I'm so happy, and this is so fantastic. I'm just here to enjoy myself, and that's a message for everyone in drag or out of drag. Really, just follow your dreams, and it's never too late. I changed my whole life at 28, and that gives me the opportunity to think I can change things up if I want to again.
Yeah.
And you never know what life is going to bring you. So I'm the happiest person in this world. So very, 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 very pleased.
28 years old?
Yeah, it's wild.
Being able to change career paths, change whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And look where you are now.
It's so fun. So it's just drag is an open invitation for people to have fun and to not. I know we're saying next time I'm on Drag Race, I'm going to take it so seriously and I'm going to win. Take notes because I am. But also, you still need to have that little bit of yourself where you are doing things for yourself.
Yes.
And if the other people enjoy it, even better.
Well, before we close all this out,
Aha.
I ask every girl that comes through
Gorgeous.
2 lies and a truth
Oh my gosh.
about themselves. And then we reveal what the truth is in the next episode.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love that. I wore an outfit on season 3 that was meant for Beyonce on a music video. The second one is George Clooney played me in an espresso advert.
Okay.
And the third one is I helped write lyrics for a very famous song that won Eurovision.
Okay. Well, let us know down in the comments what you believe Choriza's truth is. Hit the subscribe and the like button. Show us some love. Choriza, where can everybody find you on the social medias?
Oh my gosh, you can find me at Choriza with a Z-A, May, everywhere on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere, TikTok, and then just go to all your music platforms and also find me there as Choriza May and listen to all my music. It's camp, it's fun, it will make you feel good.
Exactly. Well, I'm Joseph Shepard. This has been Choriza May.
Woo!
And as we close this out, my pussy is like a peach. My pussy is like a peach.
Outside is fluffy, inside is juicy. My pussy is like a peach. Visca Valencia!
Bye!